These are the 4 steps that lead into the kingdom of heaven. This is how to be saved. This is how to be a true repenter. This is how not to be one who says, Lord, Lord, but who shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. These are the distinguishing marks of true saving faith. And so he begins in verse 3, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. We talked about this yesterday morning. This is where it all begins. It begins by coming to see that I have sinned and I have fallen short of the glory of God, and I declare spiritual bankruptcy before a holy God in heaven.
He uses that word nobody likes, repent. Repent. Not only confess your sin, forsake your sin. Repent. Run away from it.
My aim in healing your body, and the church could say, our aim in touching the neighborhood, our aim in every manner of ministry that touches the body, the mind, the family, is not an end in itself, otherwise we would be cruel. Jesus said, I've given you a gift. It's free. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything for this gift. It came first. You didn't earn it. You weren't good enough for it. I chose you freely among all those people. I healed you. Now, live in that power. Know me. Know free grace and its power in your life. When he says sin no more, he doesn't mean like on your own. He means, look what I've done. Wake up. I've come into the world to forgive sinners. I've come into the world to change things. Look to me, know me, and in the power that you've just experienced, fight your sin.
Hypocrites know they're hypocrites. You know whether your heart is corrupt. You know whether your salvation is real or whether it's superficial. You know whether you have power over sin. You know whether you have righteous longings and holy aspirations. You know whether you have true joy in experiencing worship. You know whether your heart is drawn out in love to Christ and those who are Christ's. Hypocrites know they're hypocrites, particularly if they associate with people who are not hypocrites. They see the difference.
But there is more. Second, in verse 4, Blessed are those who mourn. There must be a weeping and a mourning over the sad condition of my sinful state. I must be broken on the inside and to see that my life has been an offense to a holy God. I have violated His holiness in the way that I have lived my life. I cannot be apathetic. I cannot be lukewarm. I can't just yawn in the face of God and say, well, I have sinned. That is a false faith. One who is a true repenter who enters the kingdom, there is a deep brokenness over my sin.
If any man, anywhere, at any time, be in Christ, he may be the most twisted, perverted, carnal, cruel, stinking man in the whole world, but if the miracle of regeneration comes in him, he gets a new heart, a new mind, a new spirit, a new inlook, a new outlook, new everything. We've forgotten about the majesty of the new birth. People just nod their head and say the sinner's prayer and go straight to hell down the aisle after they've leaned their head on the shoulder of the pastor.
And yes, and this makes some people uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. He warns him. In fact, he threatens him. A lot of people don't think there should be any warning or any threat in gospel ministry. Just promises, 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 and love, 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 and no threats. No warnings. Well, that's not what happens here. Jesus says, I warn you, if you turn away, if you mock this gift that I have given you for the power of holiness and the grace that I have shown you, if you turn the grace of God into license, if you make an idol out of this health of yours now, and thank me till the day you're dead for the idol of your health, you will perish forever.
Well, whatever's going on in the inner room in the life of a hypocrite is going to be uncovered by the Lord himself and taken to the top of the house and shouted out loud for all to hear. You are in severe danger, because even in evangelical Christianity today, in that large kind of umbrella that we call evangelical Christianity, there's plenty of room for false religion, superficial speech about a relationship with Jesus Christ and no reality. But someday, whatever you have said in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you whispered in the inner room shall be proclaimed upon the housetops.
Do you know, I doubt if 5% of professing Christians in America are born again. It's true of England.
Third, blessed are the gentle. Now, this word gentle was used of a wild stallion that was meek. A wild stallion would live out in the open, and it never submitted to a rider, and it would just go where it wanted to go and do what it wanted to do. It had fury and kick. It was just wild. It would run in every direction until there would come one who would break the colt. Would not break its legs, but would break its spirit, whereby the horse would now submit to the authority of a rider. And when the rider would pull to the left, it would go to the left. Pull to the right, it would go to the right. Pull back on the reins, and it would halt. That is what this word is, gentle. To come to the place and the recognition that my life can no longer be lived where I do my own thing, I go where I want to go, I do what I want to do, but now I submit under the lordship of Jesus Christ. And I am gentle in the sense that my life is now in His hands, and He has the reins of my life.
Your healing is about that. Every healing is about that. And every morning when you get up on a bright sunny day is about not sinning. Every disease you get is about not sinning. Every meal on your table is about not sinning. Whether God deals you pain or pleasure, it's about not sinning. That's what He says.
If a man is genuinely born again, all things pass away, all old things pass away, and all things become new.
Then fourth, in verse 6, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. In submitting my life to Christ, at that very moment I must realize that my righteousness is as filthy rags in His sight. I am weeping over the corruption and the depravity of my heart, and I now hunger and thirst for a righteousness that is not my own. It is a righteousness that must be given to me. It is the very perfect righteousness of God in Jesus Christ. Martin Luther defined it as a foreign righteousness, an alien righteousness. And the idea is that it is a righteousness that comes down from God above. I must hunger for that and thirst for that, and that is the desire of saving faith. And I receive the gift of righteousness from God. Only He can take off my dirty rags of self-righteousness. I stand naked before a holy God, and He now clothes me with the perfect righteousness of Jesus Christ and present me faultless before His throne of grace.